All right, poker donkeys, I am headed to Tuesday round of each. Typically you can find me in there on a Tuesday if I'm not out of town, because that is my favorite day, is a round of each day. So you get the best of both worlds. So hopefully I run good, because round of each you can get the max punishment. I am only about $700 or $800 off my rifle goal. So hopefully I get there and win some money and see how it goes. All right, watch the hands, and please like and subscribe. I need to say that earlier, but yeah, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I raised to $10 under the gun. 7 people called to see a flop. This happens here a lot. It's nice because you can see cheap flops, but if you re-raise to 35, I'm sure you would only drop 1 person if you did this. And then there would be more money in the pot, and the odds don't change very much in your favor. Very few people fold before the flop in low stakes Omaha. So I recommend to re-raise the flop to have some nice double suited straight card. Anyways, the flop is Queen 9 Jack with 2 clubs. I flop open-ended with no flush draw. It checks around with a turn of a king of spades, giving me a low straight. I bet 35 to see where I'm at. The middle position just calls, which is nice, so he probably doesn't have the nuts, maybe. I check dark to see where I'm at again, and the middle position just checks. So I take that down with the baby straight. I need to change this in my game. I need to go for additional value more often, where I think where my hand is good and I can gain a little bit more value on the river. I raised to 12 under the gun. Middle position calls, small blind calls, and the big blind calls. Flop comes out, Queen 5-5 with 2 clubs, giving me a flush draw. Big blind raises it to 35. I call. Middle position folds, small blind calls. I am thinking I could be in trouble, but I think my clubs are still good. Turn comes out, 8 of spades. Small blind checks. Big blind bets 100. I think this bet is trying to push the flush draw out. I am thinking any 8 is good, or a club. It's not a boat size bet. The bet is too large. It's not like he's trying to bait me in or anything. I call. Small blind jams for around 300 plus. I fold. Small blind shows 5x and wins. The river is a blank for me anyways. It turns a queen, giving the 5 a boat. I bet 16 in the middle position. I raised to 16 thinking I would get less people. As you can see, it doesn't change my odds anymore. Instead, I get 5 callers this time instead. People just like to see flops in Texas. Flop comes out. I get lucky. It checks all the way around because the flop is 4-8 king. Spade draw. I guess a spade draw could maybe bet it, or a king, right? So it checks around. Turn comes out, and the king of club comes out, which I assume no one has a king anyways, because there was no bet to begin with. It checks around again, lucky. River comes out a queen of hearts. I throw out just a pot size bet, just under $60, and everyone folds. This is what I'm talking about being lucky. It's still lucky no one else has anything to call with $16 5 ways on a flop like that. Please let this luck continue. This is a fun Omaha hand. I was able to raise it to 45 and get a majority of people out of the hand on this one. I have 1 suit straight cards with aces. It is 3 ways to the flop of Queen 6-7 rainbow. This is a good flop to bet on because there is only straight cards. Sometimes you can get the straight draws to fold because there is no flush draw to help out their hand afterwards. I pot it to 140, button folds, low jack calls, turn comes out, throwing the straight out there right away. Low jack checks to me. I shove the remaining 170 because the pot is too big to fold anyways. Low jack calls. The river is the king of hearts, giving me open-ended, I guess. And only really, to be honest, top pair. It's somehow good, and I scoop, giving me a little bit of life to get to play for the rest of the night. Maybe I get to buy my gun parts anyways. The button did tell me that the pot size bet worked because he did fold the baby straight in this one. Okay, this is a funny hand. I'm on the button. I don't remember my hand exactly. It doesn't matter because it doesn't match the flop at all. This is the reason why my stack goes up and down so much. I bet 30 on the button. I get 4 callers on the flop of 4, 5, 10. I think I remember flopping top. Not that that matters in Omaha. It checks around on the flop, checks around on the turn. On the river, low jack bets 50. I'm not a fan of baby bets, so I try to steal it by betting 125. He snap calls and I lose. I say I have a 10. He shows king 5 for the second nuts. Here's the tip of the day, guys. Don't do this. All right, I'm in the under the gun position with a call of $10. We are 5 ways to the flop with having 8, 9 suited. Really like these cards. And the flop is 2, 4 jack with 2 spades giving me a flush draw. It checks around to the button and he bets 35 into a $50 pot. I call, everyone else folds, putting us heads up to a turn. Turn is an 8, improving my hand with a pair and a flush draw. I check, button raises to 55. I call. Looking back at this hand though, I was probably thinking I could have raised in this situation. I don't know, what do you think? But this could be me thinking this is result-oriented thinking. Turn is a 10 of clubs, which I did think was a blank at the time. I did check, the button did check at the time, but I was probably going to call if he did bet again. I just get stuck on cards like that sometimes. And we chop. I definitely like a chop in this situation. Not sure if even me betting the turn would have won me the hand. The player is a little crazy that was on the button, and we could have played for a lot more if I did that. Okay, here's a crazy hand. Stacks go in on this one, which is what bomb pots are designed for. It only really sucks whenever you get stacked, but on this bomb pot, I flop open-ended on the top, drawing to the nuts, and then on the bottom, I am drawing to the nut flush. I raised to 30 in the low jack position, hijack calls, and then the cutoff bets for 155. Big blind calls. I call because I am drawing to the nuts on both boards. Plus, the big blind gives me the odds. That call from the big blind, it helps give me the odds to call the cutoff. The turn gives me a draw to the nut flush on both boards and gives me the nuts on the top. I pot it for 530. This puts the cutoff into the tank for a second, which is nice knowing that his hand isn't as crazy strong as we thought. Because if he snap call, I mean, I could be dead. Eventually, anyways. He does eventually call, and the big blind folds. I only have 120 left. I'm never folding 130 no matter what the turns are. I have more than 10-to-1 odds on the rest of my money now. The river, of course, pairs the top, and then the bottom runners the other flush. I instantly shove. I am thinking that he's scooping. I put him on a double set. The crazy man only had 2 pair on both boards. I think he overplayed it a little bit. I could be wrong. And he's just lucky I didn't get there, but whatever. My cards hold and we chop the pot. And nice hand, man. Nice hand. Okay, this one is the very next hand. I just didn't want to play it crazy, so I'm not going to raise it, even though I am drawing to the nuts with one of my cards with ace of clubs and the 8 of clubs. I am under the gun position. I call the straddle. 5 other players call to see a flop. The flop comes out 4, 7, 8 with 2 spades. I bet 25 just under the pot to see where I'm at. I do see the straight out there when I bet, but at this hour, I really stopped caring, to be honest. I'm betting to see where I'm at and if I have the best hand at the time, and if it does pair, I get paid the max. Everyone folds, but the crazy dude that I was just in the bomb pot with. Because the way the hand played the last time I was in the hand with him though, I figured I might be good. Turn comes out the ace of diamonds. I bet 80 and the crazy man calls again. So I might be in trouble here a little bit. The river is the 6 of hearts. Since he didn't repop me on the turn because of, there's a flush draw out there and the straight is already there for him not trying to get the max or trying to get me off flush draws or something, I go ahead and bet it again. So I bet for 135. He shows pocket 4s and folds. Man, why can't it pair one time? Nice hand, man. And he left after that shortly, which is cool. And definitely good hands that we got into. Good game, man. Okay, this is the last hand of the night. We do a sweat after this one too, so stick around. There was only 4 players left. Yes, I stayed too late, which is more normal than I would like to admit. We call all $20 to the flop. I believe I was the one that raised because I have double suited cards. It checks around to the turn. The middle position bets 30 on the turn, which is the Jack of Hearts. Cutoff calls. I call easily because I'm drawing to the flush. The flush comes right away, or not right away, but on the river. Middle position jams before it even gets to me. Middle position jams for 165. I have third nuts 4 ways. I don't know why this happened, but it put me into the tank for a while. I just really didn't want to give away $165 the last hand of the night, even though I've been making crazy calls all night. For some reason, this one put me in the tank. I eventually call because I call everything 4 ways if I got there. Even if I had a baby flush, I still probably call him. The flush holds and I win for the last hand of the night. So I get to scoop a little $500 pot and it comes my way. Okay, here's a fun one. I've been winning all night, so we all do a $25 sweat. I believe there is 4 of us, and I actually bought the dealer in too because he dealt me some really nice winning hands at the very end, and he turns over a 5 right away on this board, giving him trips. I turn over pocket 3s, giving me a baby boat, so I have to dodge all of his outs. And by the time it gets to him, he turns over the last card and he gets quads, which is ironic because the second or third hand of the night, he dealt me pocket 5s and I folded and quads came out. So I folded pocket 5s and then just get beat by quad 5s. All right, we close the place down. Look, check this out. Horatio is not as stuck as he was.
I'm not as bad as I once was. About this might be mine right here. Yeah, but I think Chris reached your goal.
Yeah, I needed 700 a night. I started off with 3, and I got a little like 13, 14, 15, and I don't know where you're at, Horatio. That's a little sloppy.
Well, I'll tell you what. As long as Mary doesn't get too pissed that you're not home at 4:45.
But we're going shooting together.
Yeah,
we're buying the rifle and we're going shooting together. Like and subscribe. Oh my God, my hair's a mess. How late is it?
It's like 4:45.
Still on a lucky run. I bought in for 300 and I am cashing out for 1555. Not too bad for my crazy plays. Please like and subscribe. This helps grow the channel and lets me create more content.